All right, now we're going to solve a quadratic function by completing the square. I have x squared plus 10x minus 11 is equal to 0. First thing that I must do is move my c value to the other side of the equation. So my a is 1, b is 10, and c is negative 11. So I must add 11 to both sides. That cancels, and I'm left with x squared plus 10x plus, I'm not sure, is equal to 11. And if I add one box to this side, I must add a box to the other side. Now I need to find out what is the value of c that's going to complete my square. And I have x squared plus 10x plus this box. Well, I know that x squared means both these sides must be x, and half of 10 is 5. Well, what's 5 times 5? 25. So 25 is going to complete this square. And if I add 25 to this side, I must add 25 to the other side. Now let's factor this perfect square trinomial. Well, we just said that each side of my square was going to be x plus 5. So if both sides are x plus 5, that means x plus 5 squared is equal to 11 plus 25 is 36. Now I need to solve for x. Well, I can't solve for x yet because I have this square. So how do I get rid of a square? I take the square root. If I take the square root of this side, what must I do to the other side? Take the square root. When I take the square root of a square, guess what happens to my square? It's gone. And I'm left with x plus 5 is equal to, what's the square root of 36? It's going to be a plus or a minus 6. Let's have a little sidebar and talk about this. Well, what is 6 times 6? 36. What is negative 6 times a negative 6? 36. That is why we have a positive and a negative 6. Now, when we're solving quadratics, of course, how many solutions are we going to have most of the time? We're going to have 2. So that means that x plus 5 is equal to a positive 6, and x plus 5 is equal to a negative 6. Or should I have said or? Now let's just solve for x for both of my solutions. My solution is negative 11 and 1. Now let's do an example when x does not equal 1. So I have 2x squared plus 12x plus 4 is equal to 10. Now I cannot complete the square unless my a value is 1. So I have 2x squared plus 12x plus 4 is equal to 10. First things first, subtract 4 from both sides because I have to move my c value to the other side of my equation. So we move that to the other side of the equation, and I now have 2x squared plus 12x plus, I don't know, is equal to 6 plus, I don't know, because whatever I add to one side, I have to add to the other side. Now, I cannot solve this by completing the square because my a isn't 1. What can I do? Divide everything by 2, because that's what my a value is. It's 2. So let's divide everything by 2. All right, that leaves me with x squared plus 6x. Well, what's 0 divided by 2, guys? Still 0. You can just leave my box. All right, so we divided everything by 2, and now I have an a value of 1. I need to figure out what number is going to make this c and complete my square. Well, Half of 6 is 3. And 3 squared is 9. If I add 9 to this side, what must I add to the other? 9. Now we need to factor x squared plus 6x plus 9. We have x plus 3 is equal to the square is equal to 12. Now, absolutely right. Take the square root of both sides so I can get rid of that square. So, x plus 3 squared, the square root of that takes away my square, and I'm just left with x plus 3. Well, what about the square root of 12? I need 2 factors of 12. I want both of them to be perfect, though, if I can have both of them perfect. If not, just give me one that is perfect. And you might have said the square root of 4 times the square root of 3. Well, what's the square root of 4? 2. What's the square root of 3? What did I leave off? My plus and minus. Now that means that x plus 3 is equal to a positive 2 square roots of 3, and x plus 3 is equal to a negative 2 square roots of 3. Let's solve. I have my 2 solutions.